welcome to the Underground Treehouse. I'm Big Kenny Ann. It's guy show time. Now, men, one of the most critical components in a relationship is compatibility. The Bible speaks of being equally yoked. And to my understanding, that is that a couple should have similar experiences in their ambitions and their accomplishments and their direction in life. Well, that wasn't so much one time in a case with my friend, the good Reverend Preacher, and this girl named LaDonna. Now, we affectionately call this guy the good Reverend Preacher because he was just a really solid, good human being. He was faith-focused. He was always upbeat, quick-wit, a Bible passage or a parable of something were going on in your life. You know, you struggling. Hey, the good Lord ain't going to put no more on you than you can handle. Or somebody betray you and he tell you the parable of the fox and the scorpion. And I appreciated the good Reverend Preacher. We played together on an intramural softball team, and it was co-ed. So one night after one of the games, we'd sit around and we'd have a couple of beers, and the good Reverend Preacher confessed to me that he was wanting to propose to his longtime girlfriend. I thought that was admirable. I told him congratulations. Then he confided in me that, man, I've never been with another woman, and I worry about temptation in the future. I would like to have an experience outside of my wife just so I can be able to manage later on in life, which I understood. So one night after the game, we sipping a couple of beers, and there was this girl on our team named LaDonna. Now, LaDonna was like a good spades hand. She was always going to get minimum 4 and a possible. You see what I'm saying? And she wasn't shy about it. LaDonna was very open and comfortable in who she was. And on this night, she expressed a little bit of interest in my man, the good Reverend Preacher. So Preacher says, hey, man, after everybody leave, I want you to drop me off at her apartment in my car. And I'm like, okay, you know, Preacher, a little bit out of character for you, but do your thing, man. I mean, I understand you're single now and you don't want this to come haunt you in your married life. It made sense. So I drop him off, and about an hour later, I get a phone call, and it's him, and he whispered, Kenny, I need you to hurry up and come get me. I need you to hurry up now. And I'm thinking one or two things. Preaching and got jammed up with LaDonna's fresh out of prison boyfriend, but it might not have been him because he was still on kind of like some house arrest. He wasn't even supposed to be out this time of night. Or it was one of her equally thuggy brothers. She had about 3 of them, and they were straight all goons. So I'm thinking he done got over there getting their sister cheeks, and now they putting their hands on him. So being the good friend that I am, I grabbed a ride, I jump in his car, and I rush over there to get him. He must have seen me coming up the block because I see him running down the sidewalk. He's got his shoes in his hand. His buckle on his belt is flying as he running. He barefoot. He got his shirt on backwards, and there's a spot of blood on his chest. And first, I'm thinking they done shot my partner. So I screech to a halt. I jump out, getting ready to lay down who's ever chasing him down the street. And he's still whispering, get in the car, get in the car. And I'm like, oh, they must be super strapped. We ain't about to die about it. I jump in the car, we peel out. When I get in the car, man, what's going on? What's going on? And he said, don't you ever take me to no Philistine's house again. And I'm thinking, I thought LaDonna lived here. You see what I'm saying? I don't even know no broad named Phyllis. How did you get in her house? And he started telling me, no, man, this woman did some ungodly things to me. And I'm thinking, really? I get a little bit interested. Like what? He said, man, when I got there, she was already half naked and she started doing some ungodly thing. And then she asked me to slap her. And he said I wouldn't do it. And she kept saying, slap me. And so she bit me in my chest and screamed, slap me. And so I slapped her and she bit me harder and said, yes. And so somewhere in the middle of all of this chaos, Preacher says he has to go to the bathroom, and he gets up and sneaks out of the room and calls me. I'll go over there and pick him up and take him home. I feel bad about it. The next day I go to check on him, and Preacher got his girlfriend over there, and he's confessed everything that he's done, but it was because the heathen, Kenny, dropped me off at her house, and the devil is busy. You know what I mean? So, As a result, about 3 months later, he and his longtime girlfriend got married, and LaDonna remained for the streets. And now, to my knowledge, Preacher and his lady have been married for decades. They've got some kids, and everything is beautiful. Which leads me to my point. Sometimes you might have to go through the wrong one to find the right one. Now,